Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Pokemon Showdown. This is Mr. Finch again. We are going to be doing what I said I would try doing. I'm going to attempt to get a physical Pyroar to work. We're going to do 3 rounds in Battle Spot Doubles, which is considered VGC 2015. And here's the team that I am going to be using. It is going to be an Air Balloon Pyroar with Moxie. The Pyroar has Crunch, Overheat, Return, and Hyper Voice. Basically, you would overheat something that's either weak or weak to fire, or will just get hit down pretty fast. Pairing up with it is going to be a Landorus Therian form with a Choice Scarf and Intimidate. It's going to have Earthquake, Rock Slide, U-Turn, and Knockoff. The Earthquake is why Pyroar will have Air Balloon. That way, if Landorus does go first because of Choice Scarf, it will weaken out the Pokemon enough for either a Hyper Voice or an Overheat to kill one or both. The knockoff is actually for Ghost types, Psychic types, or anything that has an item that I don't want on them. This is going to be a Mega Lucario with Justified. It's going to have Helping Hand just in case it gets paired up with my Pyroar, because then I could just do a Helping Hand Hyper Voice, do a huge amount of damage, alongside Vacuum Wave, Flash Cannon, and Protect to set up the speed. When Lucario does Mega Evolve, it has to wait until the next turn to have its speed fully used. Whimsicott will have Tailwind, Giga Drain, Moonblast, and Hidden Power Ice for, let's say, Landorus or any other Pokemon that can be a problem, like Garchomp or Gliscor, if that actually were to show up. And we have Rotom Wash. It's going to be a Resto Chesto set with Will-O-Wisp, Hydro Pump, and Volt Switch. Mainly Will-O-Wisp to deal with physical attackers that can cause problems for my team. And then finally we have a Focus Sash Sableye. Why Focus Sash? Well, because our Whimsicott has the leftovers. It's going to be a Rain Dance, Sunny Day, Recover, and Taunt. It's going to be full status, and yes, that will risk it being taunt bait, but most people seem to anticipate either a Foul Play or a Nightshade from a Sableye, so they're either going to expect it to be a Mega Sableye using this setup, or they're going to expect it to be a Sableye that's going to have Foul Play and use that over any of the status moves. I'm running Rain Dance because there are the Mega Charizard Ys, and while I do have good Pokemon for during the sun, Charizard is a bigger problem. I can outspeed a Charizard with Landorus Therian and use Rock Slide, but there are Fake Out users as well as Protect. The Sunny Day is in case I get rid of problematic Pokemon, or if I run into a rain team, and Pyroar actually gets a good boost out of that with the Overheat. And then finally we got Recover to keep our Sableye alive and healthy. Alright, let's go for our very first match. Well, very first match of the video. I've been testing it out, and honestly this team does not do too well. It's just a group that I paired together. And I should probably put the headset in. Alright, our very first opponent for this video, and we've got a pretty interesting set that we're up against. Because I am afraid of that Sylveon, I am definitely going to have Lucario in the back. The Charizard may come out in front with Talonflame, and the Aegis Slash, I do not know if that will show up or not, but the Pyroar can deal with that. Pyroar cannot deal with that Greninja though. That Greninja is a threat, so I will have Rotom in the front with my Landorus T. And I will put Pyroar in the back with the Lucario. I'm going to not use Whimsicott despite the fact that he has a Dark type and a Dragon type on his team, because honestly the Rotom can somewhat deal with that Garchomp using the Hydro Pump on the Will-O-Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp will take it down quite easily, and sure enough, here's the Sylveon. And what I'm going to do is, because I am faster than the Sylveon and the Charizard, I am going to actually Volt Switch on the Sylveon, and I'm going to go for a Rock Slide, and hopefully he will stay on Charizard, anticipating me to go for Hydro Pump. And when he does that, yep, sure enough, he stays, and the Charizard should be gone. I'm going to Volt Switch on Sylveon, and I'm going to switch out into Lucario, expecting a Hyper Voice, which is a pretty bad idea, honestly. Well, for me. Hopefully it doesn't do too bad. Oh, Lucario's dead, unfortunately. But I can go into Pyroar, which is just good for me. Landers is scarfed. Unfortunately, I'm afraid of the Talonflame being on his team. So I may have to switch Landers out into Rotom. And it's actually Greninja, so Greninja is going to be a bit of a problem. I'm going to go for the Hyper Voice, and then I'm going to switch out the Rotom Wash, expecting a Grass Knot or some similar move. Hopefully Pyroar's... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the Overheat since the sun is out, and then I'm going to switch to Rotom Wash. Hopefully the Overheat will kill Sylveon. And the Greninja did go for Hydro Pump, which is perfect. And I do have the Moxie Boost now. So we can at least get a Moxie Boost up. Unfortunately, I do not know if the Rotom will outspeed the incoming whatever Pokemon comes out. The Charizard's gone, the Sylveon's gone, and it's a Talonflame, unfortunately. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go for a boosted return on the Talonflame, and I'm going to switch out to Landorus. If he actually predicts the Landorus coming in, that will be just fine. If he predicts Rotom to actually hit the Talonflame with the Thunder Wave, or not Thunder Wave, but Volt Switch, that's also fine. I'm at least going to weaken out the Talonflame's attack so it doesn't do too much damage. The Greninja's probably going to also attack. Oh, no. That is just fine. I'm going to return, kill the Talonflame, and I get another Moxie Boost up. This means I can actually go out to Rotom Wash, and the Greninja is going to use Grass Knot. I know that. And even if it does, I'm going to go for a return. And I am going to go for a Willow. Just in case. The sun is still up. I don't know if he's going to think that he can kill a Pyroar. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go for the... Oh, that was bad. And I missed the Willow, unfortunately. I should have gone for the Volt Switch, expecting him to Hydro Pump my Pyroar. But that is fine. We actually managed to get a Pyroar up to +2. And honestly, the Pyroar did a very good job. It actually killed a Talonflame, and it killed the Sylveon. Alright, so what we're going to do is the sun's gone. He can't kill my Rotom with this Greninja, not even close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Willow the Greninja, and the Willow will whittle it out. Oh wow, that is really interesting alliteration. Will whittle. I'm going to say this team setup that I made was not the best choice. I could have done better, but this is testing out a physical Pyroar. As you saw, the Pyroar did a huge amount of damage to the Talonflame. The Greninja probably should have attacked the Talonflame, or should have attacked the Pyroar and taken that out when it got the Moxie Boost. Unfortunately, he was too focused on the Rotom, hoping to take that out instead. As you can see, the Rotom is specially defensive, which means that Greninja will not have enough to deal with it. And I do have the Resto Chesto set, which means I can weaken out this Greninja significantly before it can ever kill my Rotom. It would actually have to get a severe critical hit on all of its attacks, which may actually jinx it. But I don't think it's going to go for Hydro Pump, which is the best move it has. Like the most powerful move. I don't know if it will go for Gunk Shot either. Because some Greninjas do run Gunk Shot now, which makes them even more viable. And this guy is taking quite... Oh, my bad. I keep doing that. I keep forgetting to target the Greninja. Alright, I missed again. Nope, I got the burn. There we go. And I'm going to actually, just in case, I'm going to rest right here. Because I do still have my Chesto Berry, that means it will be set off. And honestly, this Greninja really can't do anything to my Rotom. Alright, he's whittled down a bit more. I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump. He is a grass type right now, but that is just fine because Rotom gets stabbed off of the Hydro Pump. It's not a special attacking Rotom, it's actually a specially defensive Rotom, which is why the Grass Knot's not doing anything to the Rotom. And like I said, the Hydro Pump is its best move, but it's still not going to do enough. So I'm going to go for another Hydro Pump. I don't like how they have the targeting one opponent, even though they're both the only ones left. They should probably program it where you can actually just hit the opponent. Like, only when... I'm not saying if I have a Pokemon right here, because you can still target your own Pokemon. But when there's just 2 Pokemon left on the field, they should have it so that you can just automatically target the whatever's left. Ooh, yeah, the Hydro Pump just murdered. And if you notice, I actually got lower down the tier because I was trying to use the Pyroar more efficiently. Unfortunately, it's hard to actually figure out how to use the Pyroar set. A lot of people are using dangerous Pokemon. And alright. I have a lot of these notifications, don't need them. And we got another battle. Here's a Talonflame again. And we got a Mega Kang. It's going to be an obvious Mega Kang. So what I'm going to do is, because he has the Chestnut, Pyroar is going to be very good in this. It can deal with the Whimsicott, it can deal with the Chestnut, it can even deal with the Gardevoir. But I really do need to weaken out the Gardevoir, and I will need to weaken out the Mega Kang. Talonflame won't be too much of a problem because I will have Landorus T. I'm going to start out with Landorus T, and I'm going to start off with... don't need much of a prankster setup, so I'm going to start off with Rotom Wash as well. And then I'm going to have Pyroar and Lucario in the back, because Lucario can actually deal with the Whimsicott, it can deal with the Gardevoir, and it can actually somewhat deal with the Mega Kang and Talonflame. Well, not really Talonflame. Talonflame actually resists the only 2 moves. Wow, the Gardevoir came out, and the Whimsicott came out, so that is just going to be fine and dandy for me. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to go for a knockoff on... No, I'm going to go for a U-turn on the Whimsicott, and I'm going to... I'm going to hit a Will-O-Wisp on the Gardevoir. It doesn't make sense why, but it's just going to have to happen. I knew it was going to be a Mega Gardevoir. And I'm going to switch out into... I'm going to have to switch out into Pyroar. I don't think Pyroar's going to live this round. I did get a burn. Oh, Pyroar lived. Very nice Pyroar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a Crunch on the Gardevoir, and I'm going to actually double attack it. It has a Tailwind up, unfortunately. The Whimsicott, I don't know what that's going to do. It did a Tailwind already, which means it is going to be a support set. Ooh, it's got Dazzling Gleam. That's not going to be good. Ooh, Rotom lived. And I weakened out the Gardevoir a bit more. I think Mega Lucario can hit with a Flash Cannon, but I'm going to have to protect first turn. And I don't know if I can actually pull off a rest, so I'm going to just do it anyways. If I'm lucky, somehow the Whimsicott's going to be thinking, oh, I can just kill them both off. Yep. And then if I'm right, the Tailwind might wear off soon. No, it's not going to wear off this turn. It's only turn 3. I am scarfed though. So what I will do is I'm going to Flash Cannon the Gardevoir, and I'm going to actually lock myself... I'm going to lock myself into Earthquake. No, I got to do Flash Cannon Gardevoir. I'm going to Rock Slide. I'm not going to really win this battle too well. because of that Gardevoir. Yep, there we go. That's the end of the match already. Gardevoir is very powerful in VGCs. It's got the Pixelate Hyper Voice, and because of Pixelate, it's boosted by 30%, and it's also got the stat boost. So, yeah, fairy types are very strong in the meta. I was afraid of the Mega King because it does have Fake Out. Conch Elder. I'm gonna definitely need a Whimsicott for this battle. I'm gonna bring out Rotom first. And I'm gonna have Sableye, Power in the back, and I'm afraid of the Bisharp. I am afraid of the Bisharp. So I'm gonna have Landorus T out in the back. I'm not gonna bring it out if he does bring the Bisharp. Or I'm gonna at least try to avoid bringing out Landorus T, because Bisharp does get the Defiant boost from Intimidate, and that's not a good thing. Oh, Bisharp came out right away, so what I'm gonna do is oh, he forfeited? Oh, come on! What, you thought Lando was gonna come out? Whatever, it's not gonna really count too much of. It's not gonna count as a third video because that was too short. So we're gonna find one more match. I gotta say, that very first round, the Pyro did an amazing job. I did lose, I think? Yeah, I lost. No, I won because of the Greninja. I think Greninja couldn't do anything. Got Rotom, got a Terrakion problem. And then we got another Bisharp. So I'm gonna set out Rotom Wash, and we're going to have Sableye in the front. Landorus can deal with quite a few things, and we're gonna have Power in the back again. So I'm gonna start timer. Whoops. Turn it back on. That's my bad. Let's see what he brings out, because this is not gonna be fun. I am afraid of the Cresselia. But if he does bring the Bisharp in, like that last guy did, I should be good. I can Willow the Bisharp, and if he does bring the Cresselia, I can taunt it with my Sableye. If he's to bring in Talonflame, Terrakion, or Salamence, it will be a bigger problem. But because some of the Salamence recently have been going for the they have been going for special attacks. So I'm going to taunt the Cresselia. Rotom doesn't really run taunt, but it's probably going to Hydro Pump or something. Or it might Volt Switch, hitting my Rotom. But that's not going to be too bad because my Rotom is specially defensive. It's a special wall. Nope, it went for my Sableye. And I burned the Rotom Wash. Ooh, that's not fun. So what I will do is I'm gonna Hydro Pump the other Rotom, and I'm going to recover. I'm gonna try keeping my Sableye as long as possible. That's fine. Cresselia went for Sidekick, and I'm gonna Hydro Pump. Just whittle it down the Rotom Wash. Let's Hydro Pump again, and I'm gonna recover. Again. That Cresselia is gonna be a bit of a problem, but I do have the Lando. I don't know why he's targeting my Rotom. Oh, it's a Citrus Rotom. What I will do is I'm gonna weaken out Cress. No, I'm gonna use this turn to actually rest. I'm gonna rest up, and I'm gonna use this chance to set up the Sunny Day. Now, what he's probably gonna expect is eventually the Landorus to come in. I am fine with Sableye going down. The Cresselia is not going to take down my Rotom. And the Rotom Wash is actually within range. I can actually kill it using my hyper voice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Volt Switch on the Cresselia, and I'm going to Hyper Voice. Because the Hyper Voice should kill the Rotom Wash. I think he might be a max special attack trying to deal with the Sableye. Either that or he's just doing a crap load of damage. But instead of a stabbed Hyper Voice, I have 60 EVs invested. And I got the Rotom down. That is quite fine if he Icy wins. I'm fine with the balloon popping. He might actually have an Earthquake user, but I'm going to go out to my Landorus now. And since he doesn't have a chance to bring in Bisharp, the Intimidate will not go off and boost it. And what I can do now is I'm going to knock off the Cresselia. So we do have a boost on our Pyro this time. I can still go for an Overheat if he does have the Bisharp. I'm more concerned if he did bring the Terrakion or the Talonflame. Because if it is the case where he brought in the Terrakion, yep, he brought in the Terrakion. I'm going to actually go for a Scarfed Earthquake. I don't mind if I have to switch out Pyroar into Rotom, because that way he can't actually use the Terrakion as efficiently. I'm pretty sure it's Scarfed. It can potentially outspeed my Landorus. I don't know if he will actually... Yep. Oh, killed the Terrakion. Alright, and then what I can do is... I don't know what his last Pokemon is. But he's not going to kill my Rotom too easily. Even with a Talonflame. Oh, it was indeed the Talonflame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out to Pyroar, expecting him to go for like a Brave Bird or something on there. And I'm going to do a Volt Switch on the Talonflame. His Talonflame shouldn't be able to do enough to Rotom Wash. And I do have the rest still. His Cresselia will have problems dealing with the remainder of my team. And he really made a mistake right there. I am absolutely fine with the Rotom getting slowed down, because now I can just go out to Landorus, and I do get an Intimidate off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attack the Talonflame with my Pyroar, who is still quite kicking. And I'm going to hit the Talonflame with the Return, and I'm going to knock off the Cresselia. I know he wants to aim for my Landorus with a Brave Bird, which is just fine and dandy because he is intimidated. He'll do much less damage to my Landorus, and Pyroar will finish off the Talonflame. The Cresselia cannot really do much to Pyroar, and once Rotom comes out, it is game. Alright, so Cresselia's got knocked off again. Lando probably will live. Yep, Lando's gonna live. I'm gonna knock off. I'm gonna... Alright, so Cresselia is alone, and I'm gonna do a double attack again, and that should be game. It's fine if Lando goes down, because now Pyroar's going to finish off Cresselia, and Pyroar actually won us the match this time. That was actually pretty cool. I actually kind of feel bad for that guy. He did not expect the Pyroar to be used. Pyroar actually is very powerful. The thing is, he needs appropriate support in order to be used. if I were, the Lando is a very good choice for going with Pyroar, and the most important thing is Pyroar should never come out first. When I was testing out the Pyroar before this video, the Pyroar was always out first, but unfortunately it kept dying because there are faster Pokemon, including like Scarf Landos of the opposing team. And since Scarf Lando does get the Intimidate off, it will actually weaken out my own Lando, which means I actually have to switch out Lando. And I can't do an Earthquake on another Lando because they are flying type. So the best thing to do for Pyroar, if you want to do a physical attacking Moxie Pyroar, is to put it in the back. This was an air balloon, but Life Orb is another option, and I did 60 EVs into special attack, so it actually has enough damage to kill off opposing Pokemon. To say it, it's amazing how we actually managed to get 2 Moxie boosts off in 2 different games, and that one of the games we did lose, but that is quite fine. I am back up to 1100, and gotta say, this was an interesting experience. I'm going to try setting up a schedule, and I will announce the schedule during the next video. I'm still waiting for Nugget Bridge to announce the matchups, and hopefully I don't have an opponent that will absolutely wreck my team. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe below. And if you have a comment for me or a comment about Pyroar, feel free to comment in the comment section below. If you have a particular Pokemon you want me to try out, maybe make a team around that, I'm willing to do that. I will make a video, and maybe I will have once a week I'll make a team based off of a particular oddball Pokemon that most people don't use. Shout out to the University of West Florida Pokemon Club. I am actually part of that club. I am a gym leader in that club. And shout out to Gino Ramos. If you want to subscribe to him, he makes amazing videos. He does Pokemon battles, and he streams. I will put the links to his stuff below, and feel free to watch him, well, beat people down with a bunch of fairy types and really awesome Pokemon. He is a good strategist. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Pokeaim. And, well, have a great night. I will make another video tomorrow, and I will see what I am going to do tomorrow.